Okay, so let's move on now and talk about Indian Wells because that's also coming up, and that's something. And I'm also going to go to Indian Wells, so I'm excited that I'm going to see a lot of live tennis this year. It's been a long time for me, right, with COVID-19, and the new schedule just came out. So the women are going to start at Indian Wells on October 6th. There'll be, I think, 2 days before that, they'll do qualies, right? So if you want to come Monday and Tuesday, you can see qualies, but I think the main draw starts on Wednesday for the women. And then the main draw for men is a little bit different this year. It doesn't start until Sunday, October 10th. And the reason for that is that there's another Masters event in China, in Shanghai. And I guess they have, you know, first right to, you know, television time and all of that. So normally at Indian Wells, the men's draw starts on Friday, right? Um, but this time, this one time, it won't start until Sunday. And it won't be a 96 draw, which is what it usually is. It'll be a 56 draw. Uh, so it'll be a smaller draw. And that means that qualies will be that much more competitive, right? You're going to see, um, you know, players in the 80s and 70s having to go through qualies, given how small the draw is at Indian Wells. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to. Um, and, you know, I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to see some of these younger players that I haven't seen before. I haven't seen Skinner in person. Uh, I've seen Felix Auger Aliassime, but he's someone that I want to see again, right? When you're that young, you're improving a lot. You're developing physically. You want to see how their game has improved. I've never seen Sebastian Corda play. So, you know, these are all players that are going to be on the outside courts, at least in the earlier rounds. You know, you just sort of check the schedule. You'll have an opportunity to see them play. Ted, your thoughts about Indian Wells?
Do you like Felix's return to serve? Does it remind you of anybody?
It does. It, I'm sure he spent a lot of time.
I mean, he should buy a copyright on his return to serve. I mean, it's just I love it. But Indian Wells they refer to as the fifth Grand Slam. The we've had a chance to play there, not obviously professionally, but it's the facilities are top of the state of the art. They're top of the league. They're fan friendly. It's user friendly. They're integrating technology, more and more technology now, which is really cool. Um, the other thing I like about it is that it's the location. It's so spread out. You're not cramped in. You can stay 10 miles away if you want to and just drive in, and parking is easy, and so it's really the way they designed it is just fantastic, and I can't wait like you to go again.
So, because Indian Wells is so close for people living in Southern California, and I know a lot of USTA players go even just for a couple days or a weekend. Um, I have gone every year for the last 15 years, except, of course, last year when COVID-19 prevented it. But here's some ideas that I have from my experience, right? And one of the things that I really like to do at a tournament like Indian Wells is go to the practice courts. Um, and there's a couple reasons why I like to do that. So the environment on the practice courts is different. And I would suggest, like, don't necessarily go to see Federer or Nadal or Djokovic because those courts are going to be really crowded and it's going to be really hard for you even to get a seat, even if you're there like a half an hour before. But you can go see some of these players that we're talking about, um, you know, whether it's Sinner or Auger Aliassime or Sebastian Corda, and they're going to be on a practice court and there's going to be like 20 people around, right? And you're going to get a chance to see, you're going to hear them interact with their coaches. You're going to see them warm up. You're going to see a little bit about their personality, right? Are they businesslike? Are they like, are they relaxed, right? Are they joking around? These are just things, these moments that you see, right? That you miss out if you just watch the events.
Fun to see them. It's fun to see them in person. You see them playing, soccer. I actually got to meet Kevin Anderson briefly when he, before he became, I want to say big, but that might be punny. But I only come up to right here on him. Right. So, but it's fun to see them, acting like human beings too, outside the courts.
And then the other thing that I'd say is don't just hang out in the main stadium, right? Take the time, go to some of the smaller courts. You will be amazed, right? That some really talented players, maybe they're playing doubles or there's another event going on at the same time. But they're on one of these courts where there's, maybe 100 fans, 200 fans. And you feel like you're, 20 feet away. And it really is a great opportunity. So take the time to walk the grounds, check your, iPhone and see where the players are playing. And if you have the opportunity to see someone talented on a small court, take advantage of that opportunity because it's a totally different experience. And as a tennis player, I know, like, when you're like, 3 rows from the court, you hear when the racket hits the ball, you feel how hard those guys are hitting, right? And it's a totally different experience from being, in a nosebleed seat in the main stadium where you just, you're following the ball, but you have no sense of, how hard they're hitting and how much velocity the ball is going with, and how much spin and dip is on the ball. Any ideas, Ted, for people who are going to go to Indian Wells and sort of just how they should spend their time?
Well, there's also, exhibitions too, because there's people are always trying out new gear as well. And you can, as a spectator and a player of the sport, if I can find a better tennis equipment, and they've got speed guns if you ever want to, test how fast your serve is going, things like that. There's also other entertaining things as well, which is really fun to do. And then the people you meet as well, because they're all there because we all share the similar love for the game. It's just electric to be down there.
Right. One thing I notice is I always see, some of my USTA friends when I go, right? If you're from Southern California and you've played, whether it's in the San Fernando Valley or in the Los Angeles leagues or wherever, you're going to see 15, 20 people that you recognize, right? That were teammates or you played against, or because that's how many players, USTA players, actually go to these events.
So you're gonna be wearing your blue hat that covers your neck, so you're incognito.
Right. Well, that's my signature, right? And my doctor, my dermatologist says I can't go out into the sun without having the hat for my head and then the hoodie for the back of my neck. So
do you use SPF 100 or do you use anything, something with no zinc in it, or what do you use for protection?
So, I tried all that and then I just stopped doing that and just covered up. So that's what I got, the hat with the hoodie with the long sleeves. And so the only thing that's exposed are my hands and just the front part of my face.
I'm glad it's actually being played in October instead of what normally is, because in the springtime it can get really brutally blisterly hot down there, and the sun is just so bright down there. So it's kind of fun at this time of year to see what it's like.
Right.
It might be more windy. I don't know. Like I said, different times of year, different climates. So.
Right. No, I'm definitely really looking forward to it. All right. Well, any sort of closing thoughts for today, Ted, on our program?
Jason is really a cool guy. It's fun to play tennis with him and against him. He has lots of personality, and I do wish him well. This has not been a good year for a lot of my friends, unfortunately.
Right, and again, I want to send my best wishes out to Jason, and I don't want to echo what Ted said. It's just that, you know, having played the USTA leagues for almost 20 years now, I've made a lot of good friends, and I've met a lot of good people, and I really value those relationships. And of course, my heart goes out to Jason. All right, that's it for today. Thank you, everybody.